People. What is up, gang? How you guys doing? And how you gals doing? What is good? The Natural was just on MLB Networks. I had to watch the last 10 minutes of it. So otherwise, I would have bought it a few minutes earlier. Still a couple minutes early, but who we got on here? Bat against 77's in the house. Mazza, the Godfather's here. Marcel's in the house. What is good? Mike Rotunda, what's happening, my man? It was a tough loss. Absolutely right. Sports Time Machine is here. Yes, sir. The Inoki. Oh, yeah. You know, Yankees still have to change second baseman. Torres makes too many mistakes, man. I mean, he does have lapses. He's been better lately, but he still has lapses. Aiden DeVilla's in the house. Hirsch is here. Who else do we have here? I'm sure we'll get deeper in numbers here. Carlos is in the house. Gerald is in the house. All right, what's up, everybody? Tyler Talbot's in the house. What's happening, my man? What is happening? Aaron Sachs is here too. What is good? What is good? What is good? Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday night. Thanks for coming on and hanging out. Hope you're having a nice weekend and are ready to enjoy an additional, maybe an extra day off on Monday. So, yeah, it was a tough loss by the Yankees today. Credit to Gerrit Cole again for pitching with six innings and 1 run ball, 10 strikeouts. Bullpen didn't have it today. Licky, even King. I mean, it's just didn't have it. You know, 3-1 loss to the Rays. I'm confident they'll come back tomorrow and Luis Severino maybe right this ship and still win the series. But the worst they're doing now is, tying the series. They're splitting it. And in Tampa, I would take that because in other years they wouldn't be doing that right now. So, and Cole, that stare down. You remind me of the dodgeball when White Goodman, played by Ben Stiller, he does the lips like, "Now you're my bitch." That was the look that he gave to G-Man Choi after he struck him out. And that was a bullcrap call that the ump did not call on the third strike to Choi again. It should have been a strike in the sixth inning there. Ola's in the house. Angel's in the house. What is good? Jason Lung's here. They're hanging long, the left, a little bit. A little bit. Ola's here, man. Ola's now. There's a party now, man. Udel's in the house. Hopefully, Udel's fully recovered. John Doe's in the house. Any chance Hicks or Gallo will be gone after the All-Star? That's a good question, man. It's a good question. And somebody else mentioned Dallas Keuchel. We'll get to that too. I mean, I think the Yankees know, like, Hicks more significantly that they're trying to let him play to reestablish some kind of trade value because he does have 3 seasons left after this that are fully contracted at $10 million per. So, and the fact is, like, they would like to trade him, even if they have to eat half the contract, just to get some kind of payroll relief back. Because if they DFA him or Gallo, they have to eat the whole contract. So DFA, then you go through waivers, and if somebody claims him, then that team will assume the salary. But I seriously doubt anybody's going to claim Hicks, and I seriously doubt anybody's going to claim Dallas Keuchel because he says $14 million in a salary. He was at the end of a 3-year, $55 million salary or contract. So I think they're going to wait for him to be released. That way, the acquiring team only has to pay the league minimum or the prorated league minimum, and the White Sox will eat the rest of his salary. And I think teams would do the same thing so that the Yankees would have to assume all of Gallo's salary or all of Hicks' salary. So I think that's one of the things the Yankees are trying to do, reestablish some kind of trade value so that we can move them, even if it's for a marginal prospect. But the most important thing for these guys, I think, in my opinion, would be salary relief that they could use elsewhere in other trades. So that's my take on Hicks and Gallo, because they're pretty much almost automatic out. So I would rather be playing guys like LaCastro or Andujar or Flurry, guys like that, in Ciarte, like Marwin. They're just more productive players right now. So that's kind of the way I take it. Daily Dose is in the house. What's happening? Who else we got here? Aiden's here. Brandon Moore. Matt's in the house. Matt Ducon. Minnesota, yeah. Minnesota definitely doesn't want Hicks. I mean, I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if anybody takes Hicks, to be honest with you. When is Domingo? I think earliest July, Aiden, from what we're hearing. Benintendi would be a great person to get. Billy's in the house too. What's up, Billy? Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson's here too. Sean Browning's here. Benintendi would be a great player to get. I mean, again, it would cost a decent amount. And he's a free agent at the end of the season. It's not going to cost them Hall because the fact is he's not Brian Reynolds. He's not Juan Soto. But you'll have to give up a couple of prospects for him, which is one of the reasons I proposed a Benintendi and Scott Barlow trade, a bigger type trade. That way you can get your outfielder who's playoff tested when he played in Boston. He's a solid hitter from the left side. He's good contact. He's a good elite fielder. So he's a good typical player that the Yankees could use. And again, it would be a massive upgrade over Hicks or Gallo or both of them. And the fact is, I don't see the Yankees just straight up releasing. I would be shocked if they DFA'd them. I really would. I really would. But any crazier things have happened. So Robert Johnson, you can trade Hill if he's hurt, but I doubt anybody's going to acquire him going under Tommy John and not being available until 2024. So I doubt it. What's up, Angel? That's again, that's my take. That's my take on it, but we'll see. Even though Cole got 10 Ks, in my opinion, he's still not, and he's not at his dominant point yet, but he's money. I'm not worried about Cole. I mean, he's going to have his, even in a bullpen blue, he's going to have his 15, plus wins, 16 plus wins, 240, 250 strikeouts, sub 3 ERA, right around. He'll be fine. He's going to put up base numbers at some point. And again, but you're right, not at his dominant point, yeah, but he's been pretty close a couple times this year. That's the way I see it too. Ender Inciarte is better than him, but yeah, I agree. If you DFA, if you designate them for assignment, you can trade, yeah, but at some point they're going to be put on. They'll either be put on waivers, which nobody will claim. It's going to be a waiting game. So again, because I'm Matt. I mean, I'm just saying this. I highly doubt they would DFA Gallo or Hicks and then trade them. I just don't see it happening. I mean, if somebody team wants to claim them, go for it. I just don't see the Yankees. They would have to release them in order for them to not, assume anything for an acquiring team would not assume any payroll. So we don't need these. I would still add a starting pitcher, to be honest with you. I'm not banking on that. And keep in mind, Nestor Cortez has never thrown more than 100 innings in a season. Severino's coming off of a long injury, and he never threw more than 80 since 2018. So they are going to be on some kind of limitations inning wise. I would still bring in a starter and a longer reliever, which is one reason I mentioned Dallas Keuchel as an option, not for a starter, but as like a long relief guy. A change of scenery in a place where you might be better off right now, but no more than long relief. Because the Yankees, again, they lost one of their long relief guys in Luis Hill. They lost one of their spot starters in Luis Hill. They also lost a reliever in Chad Green, so they're going to have to replace them one way or another. Okay, I still see them making moves, and Michael Kings has not been that great lately, but I'm confident he'll be back. But the last thing you want to do is overuse guys like Clay Holmes and the rest of them to start slumping too. I like Clark Schmidt, what he's doing. I hope they use him more often. But a guy like Keuchel, he's going to they wait for him to be released, pick him up on the minimum, no risk at all, and you can plug him in the back of that bullpen and be a long relief guy for 2 or 3 innings. It's worth looking into, and for the main reason of keeping him away from Tampa, Boston, and Houston, because he's a Yankee killer. Okay, and he would probably go back to killing the Yankees on those teams in the playoffs, and that's the last thing, in my opinion, that we want to do. That's the one reason I would consider bringing in Keuchel, for that main reason. Brian Reynolds is struggling, so his straight value will be less. Straight value, yeah, maybe, but they're still going to ask for the moon because he's consistently, just because he's struggling doesn't negate the other years that he's played like a superstar. So they would still, but I would still look. I definitely would look, and I would, let Dylan Lawson work with him, and he'd be a perfect fit here as a leadoff hitter and a center fielder. Oh, so would Andrew Benintendi. Either one would be a fantastic fit. So, but yeah, Zachary, I mean, it's true. It is true. Let's get them likes up, by the way, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, if you don't mind, if you don't hit it, if you can hit it really quickly, that'll be really helpful. What else? Juan Plug's in the house. There he is. Keuchel will have to like house. Yeah. I mean, I don't see that being a problem, honestly, bringing a guy. I don't think, Donaldson hasn't been a chemistry issue on the team. And I don't think adding Keuchel would be. Now, would I pick Keuchel over everybody else, like over Scott Barlow? No. Would I pick him over Luis Castillo or Luis Cessa? No. But that said, still another long relief guy wouldn't be that bad. So, especially when it comes from the left-handed side. I like Manny Banuelos, so hopefully they'll give him an opportunity and use him. But, we'll see. We'll see. And again, just to keep him away from those other teams where he can come back and kill the Yankees in the playoffs. That alone. Yankees could get Diego. They could. You might, yeah. DFA Hicks and Gallup pay half their salary and get Cooper. The only way you can pay half their salary is if they're traded. You can't DFA them and pay half their salary. Their salary is 100% guaranteed by the team that signs them. So the only way you could pay half is if you trade them, and that's part of the agreement. Otherwise, they're paying 100% of everything. It's the only way contractually possible. We can't have King or Holmes turn into Scott Proctor. Well, exactly. Let's talk about. There's been chatter about adding David Robinson. I heard somebody say to Wilson Contreras. At this point, personally, I don't think there's a need for another catcher now, because of the fact that how well that they're doing. And Sean Murphy, I wanted, but before we got Jose Trevino, and if Sean Murphy's not tearing a cover off the ball either, he's not a huge hitter. So I wouldn't want to disrupt what they have right now with Trevino and Higashioka. And at some point, Workbet, but I think Workbet's going to be part of a 2023 rotation with Trevino. That's the way I'm seeing it now. I think it's going to be Higgy and Trevino this year. Herman's coming off like a shoulder injury, John Kirk, so he's not going to be back until a shoulder and lat, and probably at least July. So Paul Quantrill, Yankee team said they were overused. This team hadn't. Yeah, this is what I mean. When you overuse an elite bullpen, they get tired, and then you have to start relying on other pieces. And then if the pitching has to start, the starting pitching has to start to carry an extra load. That's when guys can get hurt. And if you don't have the depth, and again, they lost Green, they lost Hill, which is an important part of their depth. They have other guys, but the last thing you want to do is throw guys that aren't yet ready into the wolves. Like, last thing you want to do is call Ken Waldichuk up and expect him to just save everything, right? Or Hayden Wesneski. They're attractive prospects, but Waldichuk just got promoted to AAA, so I would give him a little bit of time. So, and let's definitely hit them likes, Jason Long. Thank you. Hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. I want to try. I always try to get to 100 likes each time we do a live, so it's greatly appreciated. I don't trust Benintendi. His whole career has been good year, bad year. It depends. I mean, he's clutch in the postseason, Gerald. He's been solid this year, but he's been solid on a crappy team too. I think he'd be solid here. Now, would I take him over Brian Reynolds? No. Would I take Brian Reynolds over Juan Soto? No. But at the end of the day, the fact is, like, if they somehow trade for Juan Soto, which is, essentially a fantasy for a lot, but if they somehow trade for Juan Soto, there's no way Judge is coming back. Not happening. Okay? If you sign a Brian Reynolds who's under control for 7 more years, then you can bring back Judge if they want to do that, which is the more popular move with a lot of fans. You sign Benintendi or trade for Reynolds or Benintendi, they can still bring back Judge. Soto, completely different story. Judge will not be back if they acquire Juan Soto. There's no way they're going to extend both of them. Never in a million years. Not this house time, brother. And at that point, what do you do? Like I said, you have to trade Judge at that point and recoup some of what you've lost giving up Soto, because you're going to give up the farm for Soto. You can get half that farm back if you trade Judge. It's just a thought, but that's what essentially they would have to do if they don't want to have nothing in the farm, at least at the top levels. So, and that's an unpopular decision, but what else are you going to do? You let Judge walk at the end of the year? You could do that, but why would you do that? We can get a ton back for him. Ton. Even at major league level, you can replace him with another outfielder. A Trent Grisham, you can get a lot of pitching depth. You can get your starter and your reliever. Like, you can get a lot for Judge. And again, it's an unpopular move, but if they're going to acquire Soto, who knows if they're going to? That has to be considered. And again, a couple people have been saying this, that the only way they're going to get Soto is if they assume Steven Strasburg. I don't think there's a chance in the world the Yankees would take Strasburg's salary. He's got 5 years left, $35 million per, and he hasn't been able to stay healthy. That would be Cashman would never do that, ever. Never in a million. He doesn't get fleeced. Sometimes he makes bad moves that turn out to be bad. He does not get fleeced. That would be a fleece. And if that's the case, you can forget about Dominguez. You can forget about Volpe as part of that trade. It's never going to happen. So it's kind of the way I look at it. And again, if you, what do you want? Do you want those two guys and as well as a bunch of other guys, knowing that you're not going to re-sign Soto, who turned down a 12-year, $350 million contract already? Or 13-year, I think it was 12 or 13. Or do you want to keep Strasburg but have a boatload of players to build around him? So it's kind of a balancing act, but I don't think there's a chance in the world that Cashman would ever agree to take on Strasburg's salary. Yankees need to call Oakland about Montez. Montez would be a good one, 2.8. I think it'll be relatively overpay, but I mean, you have to contact them to see what it would take. There's no doubt about it. And again, now, like before, we were talking about Montez and Sean Murphy, and I've even talked about that too. But now, like I said, I don't think they need Murphy now. They've got Trevino, so you go straight up for Montez. You can, I mean, it's still going to cost a lot, but you can do it. Tommy Pham to me is a hard pass. No, now that he's become a clubhouse cancer. No way. Who knows if so? Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if a team makes him an offer that he can't refuse, they'll move him because they know he's not going to re-sign with them now. That's just a fact. He rejected their contract, and the fact is the judge rejected the Yankees contract. So the Yankees probably in the back of their minds too are saying this guy's probably not going to re-sign us unless we overpay by $100 million. But why would you do that at 31 years old? Why? I know I wouldn't. It's not a chance in the world. Had majority of his best years already. Will he get paid? Yes. Does he deserve to get paid? Yes. But how much is the question? Is the question. So Tommy Pham is yeah. Dude, it's crazy. One plug. Oh, we got some trades here from Maz and Talbot. Okay. Judge is a free agent next year. Why would Washington take him? Yeah, I don't think Washington would take him unless they want to have a free agent to sign, and then they can do that, and he would cost less than Soto would. So they could take him, but I think he'll be a free agent. They can get him for, they can sign him, or the Dodgers, or the Padres, or the Giants. And he's mentioned the Giants recently, so being a West Coast boy, somebody will pay him. I know Juan Plug. The first thing I thought of was that Tommy Pham was just reminded me of the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. So. Yeah, who's saying trade Judge to the Washington? Oh, there we go, Aaron. And Aaron, no, I don't think so. I mean, theoretically, it's possible, but I think the Yankees are going to want a prospect haul back. I mean, not the Yankees, the Nationals are going to want a prospect haul back because if they're going to move that young kid, they're going to want young kids back. So, and they'll start to, I guess, build around Strasburg and build around Corbin and some of these other guys. And I just see them trading Jimmy. If they're going to trade Judge, I see it happening to a West Coast team. So that's the way I see it. Yeah. Hirsch is. I agree with Hirsch. Ketel Marte could be good. Luis Castillo could be good. Matt Carpenter. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's a good point, man. That stash is legit, man. Lorenzo, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I would add Amir Garrett and Jonathan India too. Well, Amir Garrett is no longer with the Reds. Amir Garrett got traded to the Royals for Mike Minor about right before the season started. So as much as I would like Amir, he's no longer there. Jonathan India, I don't see the Reds trading him. I would be shocked, I would say. But if you're going to add Jonathan India, the Yankees are going to have to really, really. You're going to have to add a Dominguez and a Parada. You're going to have to add quite a bit to get India. That's my opinion, but India would be nice. Tommy Pham, Matt. Yeah, no, I get it, but based on what he did, could you imagine had he done something like that to smacked up one of the Yankees players? I mean, that would be. He'd probably get laid out. Man. When Donaldson comes back, they will cut. No, I doubt it. Especially if he's playing well, I doubt it. I might keep Carpenter from some solid depth. So, and I agree with Gerald. Soto conversation begins with Volpe and Dominguez. Now, did I miss Tyler and Maz's trades here? I don't see them. Did they scroll by way too fast? Yeah, Gerald. He steals bases, rarely gets caught. Yeah, IKF is doing a lot of good things. Quietly, but good. Yeah. I mean, Ketel Marte, I would probably plug him in at second. I mean, that's a trade where, if you can get a Zach Gallen back now that I think he's healthy, then you add Gleyber Torres and you add some other guys to that trade. Plug Ketel at second base. I mean, and he can, again, his versatility, he can play a lot of different places so that DJ still gets a lot of opportunities too. Yeah, I like the Matt Carpenter signing. He's a good veteran player, low key, good, solid teammate. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Michael Maz. Oakland gets Torres, Hicks. We pay half of the contract. Garcia, bro. Pittsburgh gets Andujar, Gallo, Hernandez, Medina, Hillwells, Wisniewski. Oh, man. Yankees get Montez. Pineda. Oh, Reynolds, Chandler, Contreras. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. That's an intriguing one, Mazza. That's an intriguing one. Let me think about that for a few minutes. Interesting. How about Ian Happ? Happ is a good defender, and he's solid too. Albert, he's a guy to look into from the Cubs, and he's got a couple of seasons of control left too. So he's another one. They'd have to pay a decent amount for, probably even more than they would pay for Benintendi, just because he got more controllable years. But it's worth looking into also. Carpenter, yeah, he went deep yesterday. What do I think the bench is going to look like when we're that's a good question, Aaron. Probably Carpenter, Andujar, Marwin, and a backup catcher, whoever the other catcher is, something like that. Shane Greenstein. It could be under the radar good. It could be under the radar good. I mean, he's a reliable reliever. He was solid when he was here, so can't hurt. He signed him on a minor league deal, so if he's playing well, he might get a call up, and he might help. So Benintendi would be nice, yeah. Let you play third every day. Trade Donaldson. I'm not sure they're going to be able to trade Donaldson now. So, I mean, I would be surprised. And Donaldson brings that kind of attitude to the Yankees, that edge to the Yankees that they haven't had in a while. So, but I mean, crazy things can happen. Cashman is known to flip guys. So, let me hurry sign Matt Carpenter for Chili Davis and Strawberry. Yeah, that's a good point. To trade for Odor and Orioles. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like people keep saying the Yankees got beat by the Orioles and with Odor as their sixth hitter. Yet these are the same people who were saying the same praises about Odor when he was doing the same things for the Yankees last year. So he's not a sexy player, but he gets clutch hits, man. He gets clutch hits. So he was fun here. And he's a tough player. Kansas City gets Rangers, Gomez, Alexander Vargas, David Garcia, Clint Frazier. Okay, Tyler, keep it going. Yeah, Soto, I mean, is the dream guy. He's the dream guy, Benji. I mean, there's no doubt about it. To me, he's the dream guy. I mean, again, for a fact. I mean, you're gonna have if you're gonna trade him, you're gonna have to have an extension lined up, a monster extension. So, otherwise, Boris is not gonna prove that trade, and they're gonna want it. I mean, you better expect $40 million a year, at least. So. And then with an opt out somewhere too, which is totally fine by me. Have him opt out at 29 years old, let him go back out and get a contract from someone else. You get 6 good years of Soto. I would take that all day. Is Judge starting with the Yankees, Benji? Meaning he's a starter? Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, staying. It's a good question. I don't know. He rejected their extension for $30.5 million per year. So my guess is I'm leaning towards him going somewhere else in free agency. So, I mean, it could be a tactic to get the Yankees to really give him like $300 million, which I would not do personally at 31 years old, but we'll see. JP Sears is still, they sent him down. They sent him down the same day they sent someone else down. I forgot it. Estevan Florell, I think it was. Florell and Sears went down. So, Miggy's been solid. He looks a little bit more natural in the field, which is a good sign. It is a good sign. I'm happy to see that. The problem with Torres is that there's LeMahieu to play him and it doesn't make. Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. I mean, Torres can be a defensive liability, even though he's made a couple of good plays. I don't mean LeMahieu he got a cortisone shot in his wrist a few days ago, so he was sitting because of wrist soreness. So he's back now, and obviously I think DJ should be getting the majority of third base reps now that Donaldson's on the DL. The IL. I keep saying DL. And then you can plug Carpenter's DH, and then you can plug David Gleyber Torres in second base in the meantime to maximize the offensive output. So I think Sears gets another look or a call up at some point. Yeah. R2D2 to be a home play. Imagine that, Joe. Aziz, what's my current position on Gleyber Torres, especially now he's been playing late? I mean, he's been playing better lately, I'll say that, Aziz. But again, when Josh Donaldson comes back, I mean, it also depends. I mean, I would be rotating these guys in and out. I would give Torres a DH just to keep him off the field because he can be a defensive liability. So, but I like the fact that he's playing better. I would keep him in there for now. I would keep DJ at third so that both of them are in the lineup as long as Donaldson's out. So that's what I would do. Sign Keuchel to the minimum, cut the beard, resurrect his career. Sports time. Yeah, I mean, if he gets released, I think they should consider signing him just for bullpen depth and keep him away from teams like Tampa, Houston, and Boston. Because if he goes there, remember he has a reputation of being a Yankee killer. Last thing I want is him shutting down the Yankees in the playoffs as a member of one of these freaking teams. That would be my biggest fear. Stanton's on the 10-day IL, so I think a little bit under a week, Benji. So he's got a little bit of ankle inflammation, which is better than a calf strain. So, and they initially thought it was a calf strain, and they changed the diagnosis. So that's not a bad thing, and which would have been a 15-day. Now he's on a 10-day, so it's good. Wish Gallen and Hicks would heat up. Oh yeah, me too, Clifford. 100%, bro. 100%. Gleyber has 8 home runs. Yeah, he's got 8. It's on pace for like 25 to 30. So the Yankees can get someone else for Judge. He's out of New York City. Otherwise, they'll resign him, though. The issue isn't resigning Judge, but finding a replacement at this point. Well, I think, Chloe, it's a good point. You bring up a good point. And again, if you're going to trade him, I mean, like, look at the teams that, like if I'm going to trade, look at the West Coast teams, right? I'm going to trade him to the Padres. I want Trent Grisham back. If I'm going to trade him to the Dodgers, I want Gavin Lux back or something, and a pitcher. Like if I'm going to trade him to the Giants, I want an outfield back, even if it's just Grimsey Jr. Trade him to the Mariners, I want an outfielder back like Kyle Lewis and something like that. So at the very least, they get some offensive production at the major league level back, and then obviously some prospects to go with it. So I agree. LeCastro still nursing, labrum issue. Sports time machine. Keiko was DFA'd. If you're talking about Keiko. Miggy go. I don't think they'll let Miggy go. I think at this point he's starting to play well. So they're either going to keep him or let him establish trade value, and they can move him for something back. So, but he's got a good bat. He's got a good bat when he plays on somewhat of a regular basis. So, Maz's trade, Kansas City gets Herman, Licky, Wisniewski, bro. Torres, Loisaga, Waldichuk, Hill, Medina, Sweeney, Sigler to the Miami Marlins. Damn. Yankees get Scott Barlow. Andrew Benintendi, MJ Melendez, Lopez, Pablo Lopez, Jazz Chisholm, Blue Day. Oh, man. Yeah, I'd sign up for that trade any day of the week, Mazza. Any day, baby. That's a lot. That's a good return for the Yankees. Do I think Ian Happ would be – I think he'd be solid here. To him or Benintendi would be upgrades over what we have right now. Yankees should get Alek Manoah. Yeah, that would be good. The Blue Jays would never trade him to the Yankees, though, but – it would be really nice. Really nice. Cubs, Florial, Higgy, Alec Marsh, Nick Lofton, Rock Selwood, Randy Vasquez. Okay. Finish up that trade, Talbot. Who's getting what? And get some more details. What do I think Aaron Judge will come in the open market for? Well, he already asked for $360 from the Yankees, so I think if he keeps playing, if he wins an MVP especially, he's gonna want at least $300 million. At least $300 million. That's what I'm thinking. And I think someone will give it to him. Someone will give it to him. Especially one of these teams who think he could be the one piece away from helping them get to the World Series or winning the World Series again, like the Dodgers or whatever, or getting the Padres or the Giants over the hump, over the Dodgers into the World Series, or the Mariners over that hump. West Coast teams are the only team. Unless Texas comes out of nowhere and gives him $350 million, then he'll be like, I've always liked Texas, and he'll go to Texas. I think he's going to go in free agency to the highest bidder. So now I can see that Lorenzo. I mean, bringing in Contreras for depth could help. Yeah, he could. Hicks is a career 220, 230. He only has 100 hits in a season twice. Yeah, he's not, Michael. He's not the answer here. He's really not. I mean, if the Yankees can move him to half his contract, I would do it in a heartbeat. Which I hope they get an opportunity to do that. Which is why I know one reason I think they continue to put him out there so that he could play himself into a better position. So, Tyler, Yankees get Wilson Contreras, David Robertson, Kyle Hendricks, Andrew Benintendi, Ian Happ. That's a monster right there, Tyler. That's the type of return I like for Yankees. That addresses a lot of needs right there, bro. Good work. And I agree. I don't think the Blue Jays trade with the Yankees. Franchise here, baby. Franchise. Let's go. Trout money. Yeah, I mean, he's going to want Trout money, Gerald. He's going to want Trout money. There's no doubt about it. Could I see the Twins sign Judge? Man, probably not. Probably not. I can't say that. Anything's possible, but I don't think he would go there. I think he'll go to a West Coast team if he doesn't come back to the Yankees. So, Maz has got some trades here, some more trades. Yeah, I mean, if Judge wins the MVP, he's gonna, yeah, man, and he's gonna get a lot if he wins the MVP. It's his price. I mean, keep in mind, his free agent price keeps going up, but then so does his trade value. So as long as that keeps going up to the Yankees, can get more and more and more for the guy. So it's just something to keep in the back of the mind. And the more, the more, yeah, yeah, they would have to, yeah, no doubt. I saw that he interviewed Howard Reynolds franchise. Yeah, he said they were his favorite team growing up, the San Francisco Giants. I did see the same thing. Yeah, Trevino's a fantastic catcher. Brilliant, brilliant pitch framer. We got over 100 people in here. Let's see if we get up to the 100 likes, too. What's my current take on Joey Gallo? He seems to be down. Gallo, yeah, I mean, he's just having a rough, even though, he's projects out to like in his last 80 games or 90 games, he projects out to like having 25 home runs or whatever. But these convoluted stats that we're getting don't really matter, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't think him being a fit here. I think it would change the scene would be good for him. So, and they would have to eat a decent amount of his salary. Well, that was a good interview. I mean, it was a good interview. I'll give him that. But he definitely left the door open for free agency, right, to go elsewhere. There's no doubt about it. So, Hap would be a great addition for the Yankees because he's friends with John Boy Media or Yankee fans, and he's a good. Yeah, maybe. I don't know about I don't think the John Boy boys or John Boy is gonna do anything for him in terms of being on the Yankees, but like they'll probably promote him more, obviously, if they're friends with him. They'll try to get him on the channel. I get that. But I mean, I think he would bring some value to the team, offensively and defensively. Zachary. I meant to sing Gallo to Cubs in that trade too. Yeah, I would too, Talbot, if you can. Yep. 10%. That's a good question, Johnny. I don't know. That seems to be the question of the year, right? Is 99 staying with the Yankees? I don't know. Peraza for Benintendi. If you could do that straight up, I'd probably do that, Matt. Mazza, we got Miami gets Torres, Andujar, Wisniewski, Sigler, Bro. Padres get Judge, Vargas, Waldichuk, Hill, Garcia, Arias. You talking about Roderick Arias or the other Arias? Mazza, hopefully not Roderick Arias, right? Yankees get Sandy Alcantara, Jazz Chisholm, Blade, Gore, Darvish, Grisham, Camposano. Damn. Yeah, I'll take that too. That's a nice trade, Mazza. I like these deep trades, man. These multiple player trades, man. Who inspired me to start my channel, Carlos? That's a good question. I mean, honestly, no one in the beginning, but then as I started to kind of get things moving, there were some people like Sportsman Z and NYY Recaps and teams like channels like that kind of inspired me to kind of be a little bit more creative or really, really start pushing out. So it was something I wanted to do for a while, Carlos, just because Yankee fans have such a big community, and I like talking Yankee baseball folks, and it's kind of evolved into a monster of its own, Carlos. So, and the folks that are on here, I mean, you all are inspiring me to continue growing this channel, to continue putting out stuff, and I'm working on editing things to help add highlights to the videos and stuff like that. So it's you folks for the most part who are continuing to inspire me now moving forward. So I have all you to thank for that. I really do. Biggest worry is that these starters are good. Yeah, well, exactly, Mr. Coconut. That's why I worry about Cortez and Severino specifically. And that's just why I am in favor of adding another starter to the stable. So if you're going to trade Judge, send Hicks, Gallen, 1 or 2 prospects for Soto, and the Judge wants to go to the Giants, let me send him Hicks, Gallen, 1 or 2. I mean, theoretically that would be nice, Jason. I'm not sure that would cut it to the Nationals, but it would be really freaking nice if they did. I would take that. Let it be one. Yeah, I agree, man. Do I think Las Vegas will? Oh, I know the Oakland A's right now are trying to move to Las Vegas. So, Aziz, that's kind of in active movement right now that they're trying to move to Vegas. So, Mazza has a lot of insight on that too, Michael Mazza. Rangers are up 5-2. Yes, gonna go 3-2. Roderick, oh man, that's a tough one, Mazza. Roderick Arias, because that was his number one. But then again, to get a return like that, it might be required. Mike Trout. I mean, the Yankees would do that. Ron Duffy's in the house. How are you, my man? Michael Branky. How do I see the starting lineup look like? Oh, that's a good question too, Michael. It depends on if they get a center fielder. If they get a Benintendi or Brian Reynolds, I could see them leading off. I see Judge batting second, Rizzo third, Stanton fourth, and I like Donaldson fifth. It depends on if they bring in another like an outfield or something like that. I mean, that's where it gets a little dicey. I mean, I'm like pretty clear through my top five, Michael. That'd be a good question to ask because I mean I see IKF being in there, I see DJ being in there. I can see DJ being the more leadoff guy too. I personally wanted IKF leading off and DJ second, so DJ would probably be more my leadoff guy actually, and I would move again a Benintendi down a little bit to like the fifth or sixth spot. But if they got Brian Reynolds somehow, I would lead him off and then put DJ at second, and then Judge third, Rizzo fourth, Stanton fifth, and I'm kind of laid out that way, alternating left and right with the power right after those contact hitters and speed guys. But that's kind of how it's a good question to revisit after the deadline to see once we have more clarity as to what the Yankees lineup's going to look like. You know, Monday night's Game 7. Well, if they're up 3-2, wins Game 6, they would be up 3-2 after today, right? The Rangers. Or did I miss a game? Trevino. Yeah, Yudo. Yeah. Shohei. I mean, honestly, I think you're going to have to do Ohtani and Trout for Aaron Hicks. You might have to throw in Joey Gallo in that trade, Aiden, to make it fair. I think so. Mike King needs to consult again with Corey Club. I mean, King needs to figure it out too. Like, he got overused for a short period of time. I think they need to kind of be careful with him, and that's why I don't want to overuse him. I don't want to overuse Clay Holmes and things like that, which is one reason they try to rotate in Wandy and Licky and try to get these guys back on track too. So I don't see Cashman giving up prospects. It depends, Matt. I mean, if you had a chance to get Brian Reynolds, I could see it. If you had a chance to get Soto, there's no way you're going to get him without prospects. Aaron Judge to the Angels, it could happen too. That could happen too. They're a sneaky good team. They're an intriguing one after the Rays. I want to see how they play against the Angels. Yankees would never trade Carpenter for Trout. No. My Rangers lost Game 5. Did they? Okay, so this is Game 6. So I missed it. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry. So yeah, Game 7 on Monday. If the Rangers win the series, man, then that's good, man. It's really, really good. Get the Rays out of St. Pete. Yeah, it's a terrible area. I mean, it really is. They don't draw any fans, man. It would be 3-3. Okay, that's right. Talbot. Oakland gets Peraza, Medina. Bobby Chandler, Mike Burrows, David Garcia. Okay. More of the trade Talbot. Let's see it. Carpenter's much, but yeah, I mean, Carpenter's an all-timer, man. We would be fleeced. Man, I think that's I think that's a good point. That they might have to add Joe Adele or something like that, the Angels, or Walsh. I think, yeah, this is true. King needs a minor adjustment. Yeah, I don't think he needs major anything. It's some minor adjustments and a little bit more, refining, and it'll be okay. Imagine if the Red Sox signed Judd. That would be insane. But you could pretty much know that they're not going to be able to re-sign Rafael Devers probably after that, Carlos. And then I think Bogarts probably gets moved at the deadline, actually. I think so. Would really love to Rizzo to go into nice offensive. Yeah, I would too. So we're kind of resurrect that. Yeah, Dominic. We need a little bit of a run from Rizzo. I agree 100%. So Britton's right. So right now, Britton's throwing from about 120 feet. So he's doing long toss, and that sounds as if there's a good chance he might be back for the end of the season. Now, with that said, when he came back from injury last season, it took him about a month to get back on track. So depends on how much time the Yankees have. I would not be relying on Britton to come back and being elite again. I wouldn't rely on that. So I would be planning other things and then let Britton be the extra piece later on. That's what I would be doing. How can the Angels afford Judge, Rendon, and Trout? Well, they have Pujols' money's off the books, and then after this year, Upton's money's off the books. So that's almost $60 million coming off the books, Zachary. So that's kind of how I think that's how they would do it. Hirsch, Holmes need to stay as the closer. It's elementary. You know, I don't disagree with that, Hirsch, at all. Honestly, I don't disagree with it. I mean, I wouldn't overuse him, though. I would be careful there, too. But the question, do you see Hicks and Gallen stuff? Together, no, I do not, Michael. Maybe one. I don't see both of them in there, to be honest with you. At that point, I think the Yankees will have replaced at least one of them. And it's probably Gallo. Just because it's going to be harder to move Hicks. But if there's a chance they can move both, you kind of have to do it. So, the Lightning look really good, Robert. Angels get Judge, Chapman, Sweeney, Wells, Sigler. The Reds get Torres, Hicks. We pay half. Get Hill, Pereira, Cabrera. Yankees get Castillo, Hunter, Green. Oh, baby. Dela Cruz, Trout, Iglesias, Adams. Another beast mode trade here, Mazza. I like it. Mazza putting out the money trades, man. You guys should follow Michael Mazza's trades because he puts out some three-team firebombs. Nuclear freaking blast trades. So pay attention to when he puts out the trades. He's in the blue here as one of the mods. So puts out the fire trades. And watch out for Tyler Talbot. He puts out the fire trades too. And then we get some other trades from Lorenzo and some of the other folks too. So the trade deadline is the first week in August, Ron. It's a couple of days later because of the delayed start of the season. So I think it's a week delayed. Episode of What's Your Frontline, February 1950. Young Phil Rizzuto was on the show and asked what he was doing in the offseason. He replied, working. Yeah, these guys had second jobs, Fred. They did second jobs. A lot of them in the military too, and working at banks, working in construction. Like most of these guys had second jobs. Salaries weren't that obscene then, so that's pretty intriguing, Fred. I hope Shelby Miller gets a shot at some point because he could be more pitching depth too, right? Even if it's long relief or spot starting, he could be necessary pitching depth. And the Yankees have it. It's just, I hope they're not afraid to use it. I mean, otherwise, why are they bringing these guys back on minor league deals? So, one top 10 prospect for Wilson Contreras. It might be that. It's got to be the back of the top 10. But that might do it, Danilo. Mazza's got the trade. Mazza's not playing, man. This guy's like, he's Jackson Pollock, and he's putting together the masterpiece right here of these trades, man. I watch out for this guy. Ola, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Ola. I mean, 100%. Guys, clean management and writings comes back from injury. King, Holmes, right? I mean, that would be phenomenal, Angel. I hope he comes back healthy. And if you add a healthy Britton to that, and he's dealing too, because when he deals, he's nasty, Britton. So, I mean, Benintendi would be an attractive free agent option if they don't trade for him too. I mean, Gallo's a free agent. My guess at some point they're going to be more aggressive in trying to move Hicks. So, but we'll see. But at the very least, they'll have Gallo most likely playing for another team. Pirates get Dominguez. Randy Vasquez, Yoendris Gomez, AJ Puck, Josh Bro. Oof. All right, Tyler. What do the Yankees get? I think Joey's number's up too, and I think the only thing that's preventing them from getting rid of Hicks is because they haven't found a trade partner willing to assume what's left in his contract, which is 3 years, $10 million per year. Yeah, he's like 0 for 2022, but with several foul tips. So, pretty much. Rays are their weakest team in 5 years. Gerald didn't get any players. Yeah, and they moved guys too. So, I would agree with that, Gerald. I mean, I think it should be any day now, Dominic, to get Ben Wells a shot out of the pen. They did call him up. So why not tomorrow? If he needs to replace Severino, right? Go in and pick up the rest of the innings or a couple innings. I would like to see him out here. Judge trade between the Royals, the Pirates, and the Yankees. Let's go. Yankees should also look at Sandy Alcantara and Pablo Lopez. Yeah, I mean, I would. I know they just extended Alcantara to, I think it was like 5 years, 55 million. And then Lopez is kind of leading. I think he still leads the NL and ERA, and he's also money. He's money. We'll face Ohtani on Thursday. Nice. I look forward to watching him. I look forward to watching him, man. Maz and Taillon's shallow technique is very good. Their shallow technique is very good. Very wise. A lot of June birthdays coming up. Yeah, I got a June birthday too. Well, a fellow Gemini right here in the house. Gemini's in the house, baby. How does the playoffs work this year? Certain ones, yeah, Zachary. It's an extended playoff, so I think it's a bye or more. An extra team gets a bye. And I'm not exactly sure the official layout, but again, it's an extended. I think it's a 12-team playoff. And they wanted 14, but I think they settled at 12 instead of 10. So there's more buys, and yeah, once I have the full clarity on, I will actually put out a video on the playoff bracket and how the structure of everything works. So that'd be a good video to put out so that we all have an in-depth understanding of how it would work. World Series bonus used to be 5,000, Sean. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, man. Crazy. Now it's like $250,000, some craziness. So Judge is capable of covering center adequately, but I'm worried it could risk. I agree. Wearing out his legs, and I agree. I would keep him in a corner outfield spot and DHing 100%. That's what I would do too, Gerald, just to preserve his legs and giving him a DH day at least once a week. At least. No. Yeah, tomorrow would be nice to win this series, man. Win this series against the Rays would be freaking awesome. The Rangers win. Udall, I can't wait, man. I really hope so. What's more surprising, DJ batting 250 or Gallo batting? Honestly, that's a good one, actually. I think that's about tied, Todd and Y2. In my opinion, tied. DJ's kind of doing more things overall to contribute to the game. So I think I'm less surprised about his 250 because he makes up for it in a lot of the other areas where Gallo's not really doing that. And he probably should be. Top 2 seeds get by, seeds 3 and 4 host games. Yeah, it's something like that, Robert. Something like that, yeah. Letting Nasty Nestor start in the 9th inning last game. I don't disagree, secondhand noise at all. Scooter Rizzuto was the best cookie puss and fudged away. Rangers are 7-1. Yeah, they are, man. Rangers are bringing it, man. They're bringing it. Yeah, tomorrow's at Yarborough, I think the guy's name is, right? Against Luis Severino. So Luis Severino, Tim King, and Jordan's pitching for us tomorrow. Sevy, baby. Mazza, the Royals get Torres. Yalla, we pay half. Loisaga, Sigler, Garcia. Pittsburgh gets Judge, Wisniewski, Waldichuk, Dominguez. Oof. It's a good return for Pittsburgh. Yankees get Barlow, Benintendi, Merrifield, Reynolds, Chandler. Oh, my God. I like that the most. I like that whole Benintendi, Merrifield, Reynolds pairing right there. Damn, that's a good pairing, Mazza. Love that trade, too. Wow, Zachary, that's insane. Ridiculous stats and didn't win the MVP for Soto in the game. 1.314 OPS, 11 more, and he didn't win the MVP. Damn. Who won the MVP? Oh, my God. Scooter was fantastic, man. Send Judge, Hicks, Gallo, and prospects to the Angels for Ohtani. That would be nice. I don't see the Angels ever getting rid of Ohtani personally, but I could be wrong there too. I mean, Ohtani's going to be and Trout, they're going to do. Those are the 2 franchise guys there. But crazier things can happen. I mean, I wish the Angels had enough of a farm to go get somebody like Judge because I think they would try to do it. I do. Frank Master. Oh, yeah, you know. Mazza puts it out, man. But, sometimes we wish teams would live on Fantasy Island too. Wish teams would be that bold and aggressive and make just basketball type trades where there's 3 trade or 4 team absolute freaking whoppers. I wish baseball teams would do that a little bit more often, Chop. But I hear what you're saying, man. Yankees need a guy like Guardy in his prime to lead off in the front of the big guys. Guy who has a high on base percentage, can make a pitcher work, and can swipe it back. I mean, Brian Reynolds would be the guy, Dion, but I don't know. To me, he'd be the guy. He would be the guy. I did miss your Yankees return in the 3-team trade, Tyler. Tell me what it is. I'm sorry about that. This thing scrolls too fast sometimes. Rizzuto's a beast, man, Fred. I love Rizzuto. Small, tiny dude, too. Non-judge trade, 3-teamer between the Yankees, Oakland, and Nationals. Ron, you know I got this for you. Got to stay hydrated, man. Any news on Steven Riding's recovery? I know he's starting. I think he's starting his rehab. So I'm guessing he'll be back in early summer too. Dominic, it would be nice to get him back, and if he's healthy and dealing, then be a welcome addition in the bullpen. Tattoo can replace Hicks in San Fantasy. The plane. It's the plane. Imagine there was a 30-team Zachary, man. That'd be kind of nuts. Be careful with these 3-team trade. Tommy Pham might slap you. Oh, man. Isn't that something? Hold on. That's wow. Biggest concern is hitting and drought in the play. You know what's funny? Paul O'Neill said, and he said it perfectly, like you don't want the whole entire team hot at the same time because most of the team will get cold at the same time. That's why you got guys kind of rotating, getting hot and cold, so that there's some kind of balance throughout the year. And then hopefully they get they get hot at the right time. But I totally see what you're saying there, Sir Acoyas. I totally get what you're saying. Get the feeling they're making running Judge. I don't know if they're running him into the ground, Chop, and he's volunteering himself. But again, I would still be giving him regular day offs and regular DH days so that he doesn't get run into the ground, Chop. Thankfully, he's a good athlete and he's staying healthy. But I too worry, Chop, and that's why I keep saying, like, if you're going to trade him, do it before he gets hurt, man. Do it before he gets hurt. So, yeah, no doubt, Dion. No doubt, Dion. Yeah, but sometimes I do worry. He's just a big dude, just like Stanton is, So his legs can break down pretty quickly. So if the A's get their wish and move to Las Vegas, will they still be able to cry poverty like they do? I don't know, man. Billy, I sure would hope not. You can't cry poverty in Vegas, man. They'll laugh your ass out of town. So, but they got to put out a freaking reasonable team, and they got to spend some money on payroll and do right by the fans, man. So this place that they're playing is a joke. They're averaging 3,000 fans a game. Come on. Tyler, Brian Reynolds, Frankie Montez, Brubaker, David. Yeah, sign me up for that, Talbot. Montez and Reynolds and Brubaker. I mean, you're getting 2 starters there? Yeah, sign me up for that. I like that. 2 starters with Brian Reynolds. Mm-hmm. Tyler, well done, man. What year do you think that baseball will expand the league, and where do you think teams will be? Probably Vegas and probably somewhere like Nashville, Tennessee, or something like that. In the next couple of years, I think before the next collective bargaining agreement happens, they might be an extension of a team or two, or as part of the next collective bargaining agreement, which basically they reset every 5 years. So within the next 5 years, I could see this happening, an expansion. But again, the A's moving to Vegas potentially. That's not an expansion. They're just moving. So an expansion to me would be like adding 2 teams, and I could see that happening. But I don't see Vegas being as part of the expansion. I see it replacing Oakland. But man, that would be interesting, adding 2 more teams. That's for darn sure. And I agree with you too, Sir Darkorius. The most realistic is Benintendi. I agree. Benintendi and Barlow trade would be really, really good for the Yankees, I think. Dave Winfield, baby. Insignificant fact of the day, he was the only player to be drafted in the MLB, NBA, and the NFL in the same year, drafted by all 3. I actually met him. My wife and I were doing a tour of the Padres Stadium. We were staying at the Hotel Omni, which is connected to Petco Park, and he was checking in the hotel while we were also checking in. He was a nice guy. I met him. Really cool guy. Mazza. Oakland gets Herman, Hicks, Licky, Bro, Vargas. Nationals get Torres, Dominguez, Volpe, and Peraza. Hill, Medina, Garcia. Oh my God. Yankees get Montez, Soderstrom, Soto. And then get Montez, Soderstrom, a reliever like Robles and Soto, I would be all over that trade too, Mazza. I'd be all over that. Well done, bro. Tampa Bay relocating to Nashville would probably be a good idea. Tampa, their location sucks. They could just go to a better part of Tampa, a better part of Florida, and I think they'd be fine. Where the Tampa Bay Lightning, guys like that play, they're nowhere near that. They're like the desolate dump, you know? So just move to a better part in Tampa, but Nashville would be kind of cool. It could be a lot more entertaining. So, Ron, man, have a great night, brother. I'll wrap it up in a little bit too. Benintendi would be perfect. Yeah, man. I like Benintendi, and he's playoff tested with Boston, so I like that too. I think he would thrive on a big team. Andrew Velasquez, since he's, I mean, Velasquez and Wade would be nice. Aiden, I liked them here. I really did. Flame was burning. Hicks behind still wouldn't get. Yeah, I know, Dominic. You're so right about that, man. So right about that. I don't think anything's getting this guy hot now. It's ridiculous. Why are the Sunday games on PM? I don't know, Lorenzo. There's some new TV rights and new scheduling and stuff like that. It's bizarre with some of the new scheduling. I don't understand. Just like I don't understand. Well, I kind of do with the Amazon Prime games because they're maximizing money. It's just about money, but like, I'm not in favor of screwing fans who are Yankee fans who have to get another subscription just to watch their team play. I don't like that stuff. I don't think it's fair. But yeah, the Peacock stuff at 11:35 a.m. would be. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. What cities do I think would be a good cities to have teams for pay? Yeah, I mean, Nashville, Tennessee, Vegas, somewhere like, I don't know, New Orleans, Louisiana, somewhere around there. That might be fun. Something like that. I suspect the Rays will end up in Nashville. Top market. Yeah, I could see that, Gerald. I mean, why not? Why not, somewhere else in Canada too? Might be fun. But aside from just Toronto, I think Vegas, Portland, Nashville, Montreal. Yeah, Montreal, man. I was just, dude, read my mind, bro. Read my mind. Dude, Chop, over and out. If you haven't seen Top Gun, go see it. I'm going on Monday to see it for a second time. I saw it Thursday night. It was incredible. Freaking incredible. But Chop, over and out, brother. How is Hicks ever drafted? You got that right, Udall. I have no idea, bro. No idea. Yeah, I don't think Guardy's on the radar right now, Dan. I just don't see it. I think there are other guys that are just blocking him right now that are even on the roster right now. So like Inciarte and LeCastro and then Florial. So I just can't see him getting a spot. So Nevada governor already said public funds won't be kicked in for a stadium. Well, Manfred is demanding $300 million. That could be a sticking point right there, Gerald. That could be a sticking point. So, Mazza, have a great night, man. Thank you for the ridiculous trades, man. They're freaking awesome. And let me know what you think of Top Gun Maverick, Mazza. Enjoy it, bro. Enjoy it. If you can, if you have the means, go see it in IMAX. It's worth the extra couple of bucks. It really is. Man, for a minute, I don't like the Ghost Runner thing too. I'm not a fan of the Ghost Runner either. Not. Yep, Talbot. Reds get Peraza, Torres, Medina as a Lacey Jonathan. He's like, that's a pretty solid Reds. I think the Reds need to be part of a big trade, Talbot. And I do trade some of their big pieces and get some long-term controllable building blocks back in return. Top Gun, yeah, Angel. It was awesome, man. Loved it. Yes, Game 7. Let's go Rangers, man. Let's go Rangers, baby. Yankees get Ohtani for Judge and King. Oof. Ron. That would be really intriguing. Really, really intriguing. That's one to think about, Ron. I like that, man. Yeah, I think Golden State's going to win the title. Yeah. Hicks is a permanent Ghost Runner. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. It's unfortunate, man. It really is unfortunate. It's like the All-Star game that ended in a tie. Yeah. Yankees will never trade Judge while competing for a championship. I'm inclined to agree with you, Edwin, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the type of return I think they could get. So that to me is the equalizer. What kind of return can they get for Judge? So Miami sports. Yankees win tomorrow. I hope so. Or Shane McClanahan. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if you guys are leaving and you haven't hit that like button, let's hit that like button if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to get over 100 if we can before I wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up in a few minutes and let everybody go enjoy their Memorial Day weekend. And but thank you for coming on, hanging out with me. Yankees win. Yeah, I hope so, man. Our starting pitching did great all series sports. Guy forever. They were fantastic. They really were. And some more run support would be good. I mean, the Yankees were just shut down by some of the Rays pitchers, too, because some of the Rays pitchers pitched pretty well, too. Even Kluber, he pitched well. Yeah, we're at 80 likes, man. We're at 80 likes. So, this is one reason why I say that it would be wise for the Yankees to continue adding a starting pitcher or a reliever or both to kind of put some padding in that arsenal right now because – and this happens to the Yankees on a regular basis when it kind of rains or pours. They don't necessarily have just one injury here and there. Like the Yankees, like this past week, 8 guys on the IL in the span of a week. 8 guys in one freaking week. 2 of them are not going to be back until 2024 because of Tommy John. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Royals get Herman, Flo, Beckway, Cabrera, F. Nelson, Phillips. Okay. When the Yankees get Talbot, only a top contender would take it. Exactly, Edwin, for 100%. Somebody who thinks he's the missing piece, and a top contender who has prospects to give back that are like the Dodgers do, the Padres do, the Mariners do, and the Giants do. So, but I agree, and I think he'd be the missing piece on pretty much any one of those 4 teams. The least of which probably the Mariners, but the Dodgers and Padres, I could see them going hard for a Judge. Why not? Why would they not, 4 outfield setup tight game. You have to take the base again. Yeah, exactly, Dion. Exactly. Udall. Yeah. Dumbass University. Oh, man, I love it. Again, I was going to June, but you think the Yankees team is a World Series. Sports guy forever. I think if they make a few moves, they have a World Series run. I think they have a playoff run, but I still think they need a little bit more pitching and a little bit more stability in the outfield for a World Series run. I don't think they're far. But again, anything's possible. They could. I think more realistically, they need to make a few moves to really solidify themselves in a World Series. Jeter doesn't get into the Yankees administration. He may look for a way to bring baseball team to Charlotte with Michael Jordan's partner. That would be freaking nuts, Angel. But that's a very intriguing idea. Very. Simeon hit his first home run today. Wow. He's been slumping the whole year. What contract was worse? Carl Pavano? Oh, God. Pavano right now. But Hicks isn't that far behind. And then you got the Ellsbury contract, too. He didn't play for like the final 3 years of the deal, which was ridiculous. Yankees insurance covered it, but it was still counted towards their payroll, which sucks. Yeah, I'm confident the Jays are going to be fine. And like the other teams in the American League East, the Red Sox and the Rays, it's going to be a tight division all the way down to the wire. And I think teams like that will make moves at the deadline or before it to get better. I really do. These teams do not play around the AL East, man. They don't. So, yeah, the same. Thank you for any serviceman, servicewoman, and dogs for our service, no doubt. Thank you, all of you. If you served your country, very grateful for you. Our team also looks out for the Angels, playing good finally. Yeah, the Angels are sneaky good. Sneaky good, man. Crazy stat. Nestor was the 1,094th pick in the 36th round of the draft. Hicks was picked 14th, and for unbelievable time. Reminds me of Mike Piazza. He was like the 1,000-something pick too in his draft. Mike Piazza, Hall of Fame Mike Piazza. See, that's a crazy fact, Tom, why too. I like that. That's pretty cool, bro. This current roster, if the Yankees are feeling healthy going into October, they'll be up there when there's no doubt about it. I still think adding a pitcher would be wise. I think it'd be wise. But they're going to be one of the favorites. There's no doubt about that, Edwin. The Dodgers still worry me. Cashman deserves credit for Nestor and Homer. Yes, he does. And Michael King. And a lot of these other guys, and Aaron Judge, he drafted Judge. So, Mark, man, it's a good one. Trade Gallo and Hicks for Willie Mays Hayes and Ricky Wilding Vaughn. Brady was he wasn't even a starter in college. Here's a funny stat. He played at the University of Michigan. He was a backup to Drew Henson, who was a quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines, who was drafted by the Yankees. Drew Henson. He played football and baseball, multi-sport guy. Brady was his backup when he was a quarterback in Michigan until he became starter. And he's the GOAT times 10 now in the NFL, Robert. So I think the Mets or Dodgers come out of the NL. I would agree, sports guy. I would agree. They're really, really good. Unless we have unlimited chickens over here, Robert, I'm not bringing us around. We need a lot of chickens. Sacrifice. We definitely do. Yeah. Yeah, Henson. Remember Hirsch? Drew Henson, man? He turned out to be a total bust. The Yankees freaking drafted him in the first round. Yeah, ridiculous. Drew Henson was a Cowboy quarterback. Yeah, exactly, Billy. He was nothing, man. We got 82 likes and 82 folks here. Maybe we'll get to 100 in a few minutes. Pedro couldn't hit that curve until the Joe. Yeah. Joe Boo. Mm-hmm. I could see the Brewers and the Braves going out there too, giving teams fits. Giving team fits. At this point, I'm saying Pavano worse than Hicks right now, Pavano was just a total disaster. At least Hicks is playing, I don't know how Pavano's ass could hurt him for like 3 years. What the hell is the guy doing? What was he doing? I don't think we want to see Astros somehow at all. Yeah, I don't think I would want to see, and I wouldn't want to see Dallas Keuchel go back to the Astros and wind up shutting the Yankees out. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. So, Keiga was another disaster. Yeah, Hirsch, that's a good one. Verlander dominating, good, dominant. Yeah, I mean he got hit. Yes, he got shelled pretty good yesterday or the day before. But aside from that, he's been on fire this year. I don't see Chapman coming back next season. I don't either. I don't see Britton coming back next season either. I don't see Gallo coming back either. I have to go back and look. But the Yankees have about 60 or 70 million coming off the books this offseason. So that's a good sign. They'll be able to spend a little bit. Just saw Angels catcher getting carried off the field. Oh, boy. Trying to get a replay, practically collapsing in his teammates' arms in the dugout. We'll keep you updated. They're playing the Blue Jays right now. That sucks. No, Hicks can't stay healthy, man. He can't. Aaron Judge from Mike Tyson. My man, Mike Tyson, man. Iron Mike, baby. Most dominant heavyweight I've ever seen in my life. Yankees get Merrifield, Barlow, Sessa, Benintendi, MJ. I like that. Get some young dynamic players. Benintendi. I like MJ Melendez, a top line catcher who's blocked by Salvador Perez, even though it sounds like they're giving him an opportunity, but he's got a bat, man. He's got a bat. Billy for a case of bazooka. Wow. Gugino Dino and Chicken Parm the same. You might be right, Gugino Dino. Is that right? Are you Chicken Parm? Because Chicken Parm is a boss on this channel. He's a boss. I thought they were going to be big spenders this offseason. So did a lot of folks, Dion. A lot of folks thought so. I think the Yankees stay in the lead. Oof, after June. If they make some kind of move, and then I could see it happening, sports guy forever. I could see it happening. But they got to make a move or two and to fortify some of their holes because they do have holes, and the holes are being exposed by the recent teams that they've been playing. So they have to make a couple of moves. They can't be afraid to be bold either. They can't. They can't. It's the freaking Yankees. They can't afraid to be bold. Part of 70 million coming off the books can be used to re-sign. It could be, but he's already turned down 30 plus per year. So how much are they going to go for him at 31 years old? At some point, just because you have the space doesn't mean be irresponsible either with a 31-year-old. And I know he's the franchise guy here, but at what point? When I went to my limit of his 35 per. I would go to 35 for him for 7, and the only way I would go 8 years would be an option, team option. That's a vesting option, because the back of his contract is going to be ugly one way or another. But you're right; they can do something with the re-sign Judge. Absolutely, no doubt. Will Hicks be traded? I don't know, Winkton, man. That's a tough question, man. It really is. He's got to do something to establish some trade value. He really does. So that's where I see it. Yeah, Torres should not be batting 4th. He should be batting like 7th, Dion. I'm with you 100%. Stanton's not hurt bad. He'll be back in a week or so, DM. He just has some ankle tendonitis, ankle inflammation, so it's not as bad as a strained calf, so it's good. Toronto can't pitch. Ass hurts. Can't do me. My fingers hurt to count. Yeah, that's right, man. 86 likes. We're almost getting 100. We're almost getting to 100. Hit them likes if you haven't done so yet. Yankees get Castillo, Sessa, Barlow, Merrifield, Benintendi. Yeah, I mean that's the type of trade, Talbot, that that would set the Yankees up for several years, right? That's the type of trade right there, man. Well done, dude. You and Maz are killing it tonight with the trades, man. I gotta tell you. And I wouldn't panic if the Yankees fell out of first either. I would not. No. They do have some more guys coming up, and at least they have some depth now that they can, guys like Manny Manuel, guys like Shelby Miller, depth that they could use to help offset and maybe prevent some of these big spirals, these big drops. So, Tyler, your trades are money, bro. Your trades are money. Best baseball bubble gum. Bazooka Joe double. Bazooka Joe, man. Bazooka Joe. When this arbitrator decide on judge, it's coming up soon. I think it's July, if I'm not mistaken. Todd and Y2. I think it's July. You're all talking about Pavani. You're forgetting. Oh, God, Ed Whitson, another one. Jeff Weaver. Yeah, Jeff Weaver. Jack McDowell. Brutal. I was a fan of a 6-man pitching rotation early this season, Gary. It would save some of the starters. So, long man, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you for coming on as always and spending some time with us, bro. Steve, Nebraska. Hell yeah, Robert. Stanford in Europe for soccer, Fritz. Something like that, man. I think Yankees' focus should be the bullpen because Chapman and Loisaga. Loisaga is another one. A lot of their relievers are just going under it now. I mean, that's why more depth would be a good thing to kind of let guys rotate through, and some guys get hot, some guys get cold. At least they have enough depth to do it. But they lost Chad Green and Tommy John. They lost Luis Hill, who was a spot starter, long relief guy, Tommy John. So we don't have them losing more guys. We just don't. So Jose Contreras was brutal here. Javi Vasquez was terrible both times. Dominic Davis have a great night. Now I'll wrap it up in a minute too. And Weaver had good stuff, but he just didn't have it up there. Neither did Javi Vasquez. Didn't have it up there. So it is what it is. Yeah. Good night, Hirsch. Good night, Udall. Jason. Okay. Hola. Dominic, have a great night. Hicks learn how to hit cat. I'm telling you, Udall. Exactly, bro. Exactly. The fat toad Hideki Irabu. I love it. Pham and Sling. Yeah. should focus to get reinforcements. I agree, man, Fritz. I mean, I would try to get some outfield reinforcement, and I would try to get a starter and a reliever if possible in the same trade. So, I mean, with the Reds, you can do it. With the Royals, you could probably do it. Or I do a multiplayer trade if I could. So, all right, Talbot, give me this last 3-team trade, and I'll wrap it up. I'm not sure we're going to get to 100 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. We really want to get to 100 before we wrap it up. Tyler Talbot's going to leave us with his last 3-team trade here. I would look at let's keep an eye on Severino. Like I said, Severino, Nestor Cortez, they're I have a feeling they're going to be on innings limits to a certain degree. So just because Nestor Cortez has never thrown more than 100 innings, and Severino hasn't thrown up to 100 innings since like 2018. So they're gonna need some guys, some more long relief guys. That's why, like, again, you get a guy like Kuechel, you get a guy like Manny Banuelos. Let these guys do long relief or spot start. Clark Schmidt, same thing, right? Michael King, same thing. The more the better. The more the better. Who's that sports guy forever? Mark, yeah, Tommy Pham. It's just what a 90 likes or 90 likes. We only got 10 to go. Steve Trout. Oh my God, Tom, I like to. Steve Trout. I like that, man. Hicks is untrue. Yeah, I mean, Hicks has to reestablish trade value. He's got to be for more production. He's got to start hitting the ball. He has to start hitting the ball. No, you can't just walks. It's not. I mean, he has to start hitting the ball. He's unfortunately hasn't shown interest in going after balls in the outfield, throwing baseballs that much either. And I understand his arm is not what it was after Tommy John surgery. I get that, but at the very least, hustle to the damn ball and get it into the cutoff guy. I'm not asking you to throw a guy out at home from center field, which you used to be able to do. I'm not asking you to do that. Just get to it quickly and get it to the freaking cutoff guy. And that's it. Let him take care of the rest, right? Whoever's at second and short is the cutoff, whether it's Torres, whether it's IKF, whatever it is, just get it to the cutoff guy quickly. 92 likes, only got 8 to go for 100, man. Tino took Brown. Yeah, I remember that. He also took Mark Langston deep in the 98 World Series. That was phenomenal. Tino, he took, I forgot the guy's name from the Diamondbacks, that reliever. Kim, maybe? In the World Series in 2001, took him deep a couple times. Brocious took him deep. They just destroyed his life. So, all right, Talbot. Nationals get Melendez, Dominguez, Medina, Volpe, Lacey, Jonathan. He's okay. Keep it going, Talbot. We got 94 likes, man. We got 6 to go. But make a deal because cutting Chapman could help us trade for something big and having a chance to resign. I mean, I think Chapman is tradable too. He still has he's got to come back from his Achilles tendonitis or whatever it is. But he's a big, strong dude and he still can throw heat. I think, again, you send him to a National League team, he'll be fine. 95 likes, 5 to go. Byung-Hyun Kim. Yep, exactly. Same to you, Udall. Mensch, you're a good man, bro. You're a good man. I'm glad you're covered. I want you to have a great Memorial Day, man. And, be safe and be well, brother. And I'll see you next time, man. I will see you next time, my brother. Kim, yeah, they ruined that dude's life. Brocious and Tino, Knobloch and the rest. Not Knobloch, or Alfonso Soriano. They just destroyed that guy. They destroyed him. Cash trades haven't worked well like IKF. That trade's worked pretty well so far, Mr. Coconuts. IKF is stabilized. Shortstop. Donaldson's relatively stabilized. He's an upgrade over Gio. Obviously, he's hurt right now, but he's also brought attitude to this team. So I wouldn't say that one didn't work out. And Rorford, I think he'll just be stored until 2023. So, IKF and Donaldson haven't cost them games, and that's one way I look at it as well. Like Sanchez cost them a lot of games over the years. So, but again, there's still time for that. I do think Gallo's more tradable than Hicks because of the contracts. I agree. 96 likes. We got 4 to go. Kansas City gets Peraza, Herman, Gomez, Vasquez, Robles, Carter Kieboom, and Gallo. Okay. Talbot, what do the Yankees get? IKF is an upgrade over towards 100%. And I think Donaldson's an upgrade over Gio, too. Justin, coming out. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. I hope you come back. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that because I do live streams like this. I put out breaking news, recaps. I do everything, particularly when it comes to the Yankees. So I appreciate you, Justin. And again, I hope you love it enough to come back, man. You're always welcome to hang out here with us in the live streams, man. 99 likes, man. We got one to go. And I agree. Thank you to all the servicemen and women. And if anybody here has served in the services, thank you for that. Happy Memorial Day. We appreciate you for all that you've done, all that you've contributed to this country. So thank you. I come from a military family too. My dad, all of his brothers. So definitely appreciate the fact that you men and women do what you do for us. So can't thank you all enough. Justin, I think we can swill for Reynolds too. If you can get a Brian Reynolds without, and if you can give a Peraza in a package instead of Dominguez in a package, I would do it in a heartbeat, Justin. That's why they deal with. This is the whole point of having 6 top prospects at shortstop. You can move 1 or 2 of them to get guys and still be super deep in shortstop. So that would be a really, really good one, Justin. A really good one. I appreciate you, Justin, man. Yeah, all right, man. We had 100 likes, 100 likes. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. But again, happy Memorial Day. Go enjoy yourself. If you see Top Gun, let me know what you think. I'm going to be seeing it my second time on Monday, so it was freaking amazing. So, but have a great night. Thank you for your trades, your ideas. Wait a minute, where's Talbot's Yankees return here? Let me wait for Talbot's Yankee return. Come on, Talbot. Where is it, man? The fact is the Yankees are in first place. They haven't played like they have. I can't see how moving Cashman has made. So exactly, Billy, too. You've had guys on COVID. We have guys injured. We got guys on Tommy John. We have so many guys hurt, and there hasn't been any major consistency to this lineup, and the Yankees are still in first place with the best record in baseball. That, to me, is a testament to Cashman's kind of underrated moves, to me. So and Boone's underrated managing this year, too. I got to give him credit, too. Sometimes he makes mistakes, as do all managers, but he's managed a hell of a team this year. Yankees get Soto, Benintendi, Barlow, Cishek. Oh, God, Talbot. Sign me up for that yesterday, bro. Yesterday. Fantastic, man. Fantastic trade. And thank you for your trades tonight, too, bro. I mean, I'd be a little disappointed, but I'd rather they win this series for it, so I'm with you there, too. I hope that they win tomorrow. I hope that they win. And I do think Cashman needs to make some moves, too, man. But I think Chapman would do better if he goes to the West Coast. I don't think they're going to send him to the Reds because the Reds suck. So it wouldn't make any sense to send him there. I think he'll be a guy that can add to a bullpen. So, but anyway, have a great Memorial Day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the weekend. And credit to Matt Blake and credit to Dylan Lawson, their coaches. So, but peace and love to all you guys and gals. Over and out.